Good afternoon, madam. How are you? Bhavani, madam, can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir. It's very clear. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. We will proceed.
Yes.
Ramchandra garu, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the second day FTP, the third session, Stress Reduction in Real-Time Environment. I take the privilege of introducing our resource person, Dr. K. Bhavani Prakash, Head of the Department, Department of Psychology and Life Skills, Vishnu Educational Society and Group of Colleges, Bhimvaram, and she is the Director of Happy Mind Center for Psychological Wellbeing, Vijayawada. Coming to her educational background, she has a doctorate in psychology, a PhD from Usmania University, licensed rehabilitation psychologist from Rehabilitation Council of India, MPhil in Rehabilitation Psychology, distinction and gold medalist from Usmania University, MPhil in Clinical Counseling from Mother Teresa Women University, Kodaikanal, post-graduation in Information Technology from Manipal University, post-graduation from Madras University in Industrial Psychology, and graduation in Home Science from Nagarjuna University. As far as her accomplishments are concerned, she has 15 years of clinical experience with different types of cases, with different types of psychological and related problems. She conducted research on these issues on mentally handicapped and mentally ill people and presented research publications in national and international conferences. She has a high level of knowledge of contemporary clinical practices and trends for service providing for people with cognitive disabilities and illness. She has a vast experience in administration of psychological tests, proficiency in developing individual therapy plans, counseling for people suffering from psychological problems. She has conducted training programs for improving studies and memory skills to the school-going children. She conducted seminars on personality development, communication skills, and life skills for the school and college-going students. She is a corporate trainer and speaker in stress management, leadership training, public speaking, confidence building, anger management, problem solving and decision making, conflict management, and interpersonal skills for working class, training programs for teachers, lifestyle training, etc. She is a speaker for TV shows on psychological issues in Telugu TV channel, Doordarshan, Saptagiri, TV 99, and TV 24/7. She is a column writer on psychological issues in Telugu daily papers, Sakshi, Andhra Prabha, and Prajashakti. So this is all of her introduction. Thank you, madam. It's a privilege to welcome you to our web of FDP. You can take up the things, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ramchandra.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Nice to hear you. And I have nothing to say besides what he explained. Myself, Dr. Bhavani, I am a rehabilitation psychologist specialized in clinical area. Means we deal with all the clinical cases like depression, anxiety, and all. Able to hear my voice, right, everybody?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, all the participants of Faculty Development Program of Department of Computer Science Engineering, SWEC. I am really happy to meet you all this evening in this program. There are around 38. I request you all of the participants, this is not your regular program presentation. Like, it is something which is very, very related to your, as the topic is the real life environment, right? It is related to your life, how you manage your stressors in your life. This is what we are going to discuss this afternoon. So I would like and request everybody to participate actively in the discussion. This will be like, I will be presenting, but still this will be a interactive session mode. When I ask you something, you can on your mics and you can speak. Okay, so don't feel that this is something which need not be spoken at all. As you all are in the middle age and you all are experienced faculty members, You can interact freely because this is entirely different from your regular inputs that is given from this 3 days or 2 days. Okay. So once again, good afternoon. Now I'll share my PPT. Just check whether I am able to present it properly. Able to, is my PPT visible, Dr. Ramachandra Garu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then. Now, is it in the maximized mode?
No.
No. Okay. I started presenting. Is it clear, the slide?
Yes, it is taking time. 1 second.
Maybe it is taking. Okay.
No, ma'am, it is still not maximized.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me check.
F5.
F5. Okay. No, I'm just
Madam, you can share the desktop rather than this PPT.
desktop. Okay. Yeah, I'm sharing whatever I see in my tray here. The PPT is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then. I will maximize this. Shall I proceed like this? Maybe?
Yeah.
Madam, on the top you can click on the slideshow.
Yeah, I am presenting, but it seems it's not coming. I made it slideshow right now. Is it visible, slideshow?
No, ma'am.
My goodness. Hope now I'm presenting it. Actually, it's seen here, slideshow mode. I don't know why it is not seen to you.
Or you can minimize the ribbon so that it gives a window more.
I minimized everything.
Okay, ma'am. Then okay.
Is it okay now? Shall we proceed like this?
Okay, ma'am.
Able to see, right? Able to see the slide at all?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, then we'll proceed. So let us start our program today's afternoon. All the participants, you can on your mic and you can interact with me whenever we have some interactive questions and all. So today we are going to discuss something about whatever we do, whatever we see every day, that word, that buzzword throughout the world we hear nowadays when you open a paper, newspaper, when you see the channels, when you see anywhere, stress. That is a common word everybody is using nowadays. It's like a world is full of stress. Everybody is having stress. When it goes to metros and all, the stress levels are very high. Even we are not in metro or we are in metro, we are all working right now. Whoever is attending here, you and we are all working class, right? So knowing about stress and knowing how to manage the stress, because we can't avoid the stress. Being working class, we have to manage our personal and professional life. This is inevitable to us. So being working class, we need to know what is exactly stress. Are we having or are we undergoing this type of symptoms? Are we able to manage those? If not, how to manage? This is what all we are going to learn in this next one hour plus. So let us slowly know what is stress today. As you all know, since 1 year, we are stuck up in one sea in COVID and all. Everybody, even we, you, any other profession, like any other professions, we are like struggling to manage our offline or online, professional work, personal work. It's been like 5 months back. If you see our life scenario, we are sitting at home and we are managing the work. It's too difficult initially, but we started getting adapted to it. Otherwise, we used to feel a lot of stress initial days, right? How to manage both responsibilities at the same time, professional responsibility and personal responsibility. There is a lot of intrusions in between, like our children, all maybe the health issues, time issues, gadget usage issues, everything sat on our head for for few months. Slowly we started getting adapted to it, but still there is a need for us to know what is exactly this stress, how it can be recognized, even maybe we are suffering or not, maybe our loved ones. So don't confide yourself when we are speaking about stress. It's not about only about you, it's you can even relate to your family members, because by the end of the day we are working, we are achieving, and we are by the end of the day towards our family only. So I request you all to just keenly pay the attention to this small presentation, which I made it as simple as possible, practically oriented. Relate to your life as much as possible and rule out all the stress symptoms if they are not there or they are there, and embed some management techniques how to manage this stress. So, as you all know, we wake up early in the morning, we survive throughout the day, we face a lot of challenges, and we sleep. We wake up, we survive, we sleep. This is what we are doing. Besides that, we are surviving to protect our body and self respect. This is the major two things that we do every day. Agree? We all agree for this, because as we wake up in the morning, we have only two things: protecting our body, health, and protecting our self respect, self image, everything. Besides these two, we try to achieve something, like going to the class, teaching children, learning new skills, updating, presenting, attending. So many things we do professionally and personally. While we achieve, we enhance our, we earn something, we enhance our body health, and we have the self respect protected. This cycle is going on right from the mode we are born, and achievement and all add on when we started taking up our professional life. Agree? So, as we are again, as I told, it's work life balance. We are having daily challenges. Somebody on the mic. Somebody, please mute the mics. Yes, thank you. So, while balancing our work and life, our professional life and the personal life, every day we have challenges, right? In the college or your personal life, with your children or with your spouses or with your elders, with your siblings, colleagues, students, you have n number of challenges. Facing these challenges, everybody reacts in one way. Everybody reacts. Nobody reacts in the same way for same situation. As you know that when it is a rainy day, everybody doesn't react in the same way. Children react like, Abba, we can evade the school, we can bunk the school. If it is an important meeting, we'll be very stressed out, like, how to attend now? This is so raining now. I'll be late to the meeting. Now how should I go? If there is only two-wheeler with you, you need to catch an auto, you need to wear a raincoat. All the things we respond differently for different situations, and for one situation, everybody will not respond in the same way. So, as for the life challenges that we get every day because of working and personal issues, we don't react in the same way. One person reacts in one way. Some reacts very cool. You can see even your colleagues or friends or family members. Some are very cool. Some are like they're standing in their shoes always. Some will be like moderate in between both of them. Okay. So, as educators, you're all teachers, right? We are all teachers. We call it as faculty, lecturer, HOD, whatever name it is, readers, or deans, or principals, whatever it is. We are all educate in the education sector. we have many roles besides our personal life. In the education sector, we have many roles like, administration we have to do. We need to do the class work. We need to do the, what is that called? Presentations. Now it is COVID. We need to do everything online. Everything adds on. Being an educator, we need to manage too many things. Updating our skills, updating and presenting effectively to the students, preparing apt presentations which will convey the message to the students, or attending regularly some updation programs, right? These are all many roles we are playing. As an educator, if you remember your college, now you are attending the FTP, but if you go to your college life again, like you are a lecturer there, you are not only lecturer, or you are not only the teacher, you are a facilitator, you are a trainer, you are a mentor, counselor, caregiver, so many roles as educator. We are not confined to one role. If a student is in the need of guidance, we become a mentor to that student. If she's having some emotional pain, then we start counseling them. If they lack some training skills, we train them. Some subject related or content related things, we train them. If they're not well, sometimes we even go into that role of caregiver role also. So these are all things we are playing professionally, the roles. The same thing again at home, it is reflected. As a father, as a mother, or as a son, sister, we have our own roles that we. So playing all these things, all the roles, naturally we have a minimum amount of stress. However we are, we dress up. However we speak outside, we speak properly in the classrooms. We act properly. We live right. We model right. Okay, we stand up for students. We fight them for them. We help them, and this list is very big. How is our role in a college as a teacher? That list will be vast. You have to meet all the demands of your life, professional life. When you go home, naturally gain one more demand. Emotionally, you have to be, maintaining your emotional bonds. You have to carry the responsibilities like even buying the vegetables, groceries. And if it is a male employee, if your wife is a housewife, she'll be expecting you to take you out. If you have children, they expect you to take out. Every day you go to office, at least weekends you need to take us out, pictures, etc., etc. So you have professional life demands and personal life demands, but we are meeting all these challenges and demands. In this process of meeting all these challenges every day, we have that wear and tear process happening in our body. You're getting everybody? So when you are like student, you imagine when you are a child, you don't have this much of workload or responsibility. When you are in the college also, you don't have this much of responsibilities. But when you enter your professional life along with the personal life, like if you're married, then you can really feel when I am telling these all things, right? Yeah, I'm managing so much. You get a lot of insight also. Maybe that may not be stressful for you. Just this seminar or webinar is going to give you some insights, or it's going to throw some light to check whether you are in the stress zone or not in the stress zone. If you are not in the stress zone, continue your coping skills, adapt few things that are guided here, and live happily in the remaining phase of the life. If you feel that, yeah, I am facing little bit of stress problem, then you can take these points and you can start adapting to your real life. Okay? So this wear and tear process when you are facing your work and life, personal life, work life, that feeling of tiredness or burden or overload or so many challenges, less time, so much work, less time, I'm like facing everything single, I don't have any helping hand. This type of feelings is called stress, a feeling of pressure. That's what we explained in the coming seminar. We are going to discuss about what is stress, where do we get this stress from, how many types of stresses are there, how it is affecting our life, daily life especially, how to identify my stressor. Everybody reacts differently to life, that's what I told in the previous, right? So whether how to identify my stressor, whether I am having any stressors or not, how to know whether I am vulnerable to it, means now maybe I am not having any stress, whether I'll be having stress in the future, next coming future, that we'll be checking. And naturally, as a psychologist, we always give some light over the concept and we embed the management techniques. Because knowing about the concept is not very important. It's knowing about how to manage is very important according to us. So as you all know, stress is a pressure experienced by a person when facing real life challenges, demands. You have so many demands from your personal life. If you have children, they have a lot of demands. You need to buy something, you need to give some time for them, you need to guide them. When it comes to the professional life, again, you have some demands, meeting your daily things, class taking, doubts clarification, you know, maybe adjusting to all the routines, supplying the materials, updating the skills of the students, and being all the computer science faculty, you will be like on the seat always. Like if there is some internship, if there is some a campus recruitment program, you will be full with your loads, right? You need to give lot of energy, lot of effort to empower the children. So these type of all challenges, when it is more beyond your energy levels, beyond your responsibilities, beyond how much you can tackle, that is called stress. You need to very clearly understand what is difference between stress and remaining types of psychological issues. Stress is not a psychological disorder. It's a feeling of more load on you. See, when you, if you are a female or a male, you can imagine you have to do your personal things and come to the office, college. Again, go back and do the house chores. One person doing so many things. If, for example, if there is some inspection in your college, if like some FDP is running, you need to conduct all these things. One more responsibility is there on you for few days, right? For few days, it's okay. But if it is continuous, beyond your ability, beyond your resources, time, energy, and all, then you feel a feeling of overload. That feeling is called stress. Okay, when you have fear, that is not stress. When you have sad feeling, that is not stress. That is different. This is different. Stress is some feeling. If you are able to only carry one bag, you need to carry two more bags for long distance. That feeling of heaviness, that is called stress. You need to understand what is stress exactly. Otherwise, you don't know whether you are suffering or whether you are not suffering. That feeling of pressure that you experience by facing all the challenges and responsibilities in your life, if it is you're feeling overloaded, you're feeling that I'm tackling so much in my day. One ideal day, if you take, I'm having so many things to do as a single person. That is called stress. So alertness, see, whenever there is a demand or challenge, we alert we are in the alert mode, right? For example, if you are in the college and there is some guest invited to your college, you are all alert. Means all your senses, everything are like consciously, you are like very alert. You see that nothing goes wrong. You see that everything is in its places. You see that you are ready for the presentations or for explaining about the department or anything. That alert mode. When you have so many responsibilities, that alert mode will be continued throughout the day. For example, if you have children, you will be having that secondary thought, what is that they are doing at the school, whether they came home, whether they had something, whether they attended, whether they did their homeworks. Okay, if you are at home, you will be thinking about the college also. Tomorrow, what is that I need to do, whether it's everything is ready, do I need to do something else. We are having focus on many things, we have so many responsibilities. Means we are in an alert mode than in a relaxed mode. You can differentiate this alert mode and not alert mode by Sunday and remaining days. Your Sunday will be little bit relaxed because we are not having that much of alertness on that day, that much of demand on that day. You need not go at 9 o'clock to the college, right? You need not have any challenges. You have a very relaxed. That's why Sunday is a relaxed day for anybody. When you get the thought of Sunday itself, you feel relaxed. Why? Because you need not be in a state of alert. Alert means, when there is a challenge, we'll be like paying full of attention towards that challenge. If that alert mode is continuously there throughout the day for months together, then it is called stress. Nothing else. Stress is nothing. You are paying attention on so many things. That demands lot of energy. that gives fatigue. Okay. See, so as a working class, we have this, we are in the alert mode many days. But the thing is, we get used to the schedules, timetables, routines, so we don't have that much of full alertness. Semi-alertness. Semi-alertness doesn't give that much of stress. But when you are tackling so many responsibilities, if you're having some sick persons at home, you have children who are very young, who if you have so much of responsibility at the college, you have so much to guide, again you have to do so much, that alert mode will be continued. You can relate this when I'm saying, you can apply this to your personal life, then you can see whether too much of demands that you are meeting and continuously paying attention on some or the other thing which is making you fatigued by the end of the day. If alert mode is there throughout the day, then you have to understand that you have some amount of stress which you need to work on it, because carrying stress for so long time is not good for the health. That is what everybody, all the doctors, all the medical field is like yelling, decrease your stress levels. Stress is a lifestyle disorder. If there's more of stress, lifestyle disorders like diabetes, hypertension, even the cancer is also a stress related disorder. So, uh, in balancing both work and life, we need to see that though we experience little amount of stress, we need to combat that stress. We need to be that strong enough psychologically and physically to carry this stress for a certain amount of time. How much time it is needed? Like if you are working till 60 or 55, you need to be healthy till that time, right? Even after that also. So these 30 years or 20 years, we have this work life challenges. So to bear those all things, to combat with those, to carry on those all the challenges efficiently, you need to know the management techniques. That's what we are going to discuss in the coming slides. It's not about you don't have stress or you need to avoid the stress. You have to face the stress, but you have to be healthy. That is our motto. Today's seminar is about you are challenging, you are facing so many demands and challenges, but still you need to be healthy. That is what is the motto. That's it. My intention of presenting is that we are all facing stress, but we have to be healthy. We are not going to break anywhere. We are not going to collapse. We are not picking up any physical ailments because we are having all these challenges every day. Everything happens, but when we are equally healthy, strong enough, robust, resilient, then we don't have the problem of this diabetes or hypertension or any other physical and psychological related disorders. So stress is many responsibilities at the same time. See that, check now, besides your professional and personal life, as a family member and as a working person, besides this, are you having still further any responsibilities? Yesterday, I got a case in my clinic. He is a teacher. He got his wife who is not well. He is a teacher, because it's COVID, they're not paying well. He started working extra. I mean, post 5 o'clock also, he started taking home tuitions and all. So he comes home at 10 o'clock. He starts his day at 7:30 in the morning, go attend the home tuitions, go to the school, attend the duties. Somebody please mute. Okay, thank you. So he's starting his day at 7:30, attending home tuitions, go to the college, school, doing the duties, again going to the evening, telling the home tuitions and coming back. So by the end of the day, since 3 months he is doing, he came that I'm feeling a bit confused, I'm feeling a bit pressurized. So how can I manage all these things? So whatever I shared today, that all I shared to him also. But see, this is a real life challenge. He can't do anything because they're not paying. School is not paying. Only 50% he is paying, his principal. So he need to get the other amount. So he is working extra time. This period, if it is there only for few months, we can manage. But if this period is like lifelong, coming years, for 20 more years, he will pick up some other disorder, because too many challenges. At home he comes and again he meets the challenges, because his wife is not well, he need to cook, he need to do all those things. So really very poor guy, he is suffering. Then we suggested what is the practically he can evade, what practically he can take the support of others so that he decreases burden. Okay. So what is stress exactly if you work is more than your ability, or even stress when your work is less than your ability? So what can anybody say when we face this type of stress, we don't have work which is equal to our ability? When did we face recently this? We are able to do so much, we have time, but still we didn't have work for few weeks or months. When did we face these all things? The second criteria, this one. Can anybody say? Anybody?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Someone is fully occupied, lockdown.
Yes.
If work
Yes.
is less than ability.
Yes. Yes.
But,
When the work is less than ability, this criteria when we met exactly 1 year before, like around March, April, when there is a complete lockdown, we have ability to do so many things, but we are sitting very ideal without any work, which made us stressful also. That also, under pressure is stress, over pressure is also stress. If your work is more than your ability, see, we have some ability. Beyond that, we can't do. When your demands are more than your ability, say for example, you have limited energy throughout your day, but you need to do so much in the home and come to the college, do so much. That feeling of pressure you get, right? You feel by the end of the day tired. Enough for today, mama. Tomorrow I'll not do these all things. One day, 2 days, it's okay. For few days, it's okay. But long run, you feel like tired, fatigue, give up. Enough. I'll not do all these things. If there is, if there are female here, you can experience if one day you don't get a maid in your home, it's enough for us. We know very, very well. We know that feeling. We need to do that. We need to do this. Then we'll be shouting on the people at home. Can anybody help me? Is there anybody to help? Or just leaving me like this on my own fate? These are all the frequent things that we encounter at home. When a person is having so much of load, he else or she else for help. That is the first indication of stress. I'll be explaining in the coming slides symptoms of stress you can recognize in you and in your spouses also, or your family members or colleagues. So when somebody is like inconvenient, they'll be expressing it in another manner. Anger, shouting, okay, sadness. It turns that way. They don't know that they are having some pressure, or they just express it in that way. We also don't know that that is a pressure, or whatever stress it is, and we need to really extend our hands. We also don't know. We only see that they are angry, or they are shouting, they are yelling, but they are having some pressure. They are asking us to take over some of the load. When we understand this, that family will be like very cool. That environment of occupational environment, working environment will be balanced. When this doesn't happen, conflicts arises in the family or in the workplace. When I recently went to a corporate government sector, it's a very old government sector where there are 45 years plus age people and 10 who are 25 year less, like they are below 25 years. So when I asked everybody who is facing stress here, overload, all the youngsters who are less than 25 rose their hands like this. Then I asked personally, what happened? Why are you having stress? Because you're youngsters, you don't have that much of demands, right? You're not married still. Then they were like, ma'am, we are like so much updated, so much skilled in handling all these computers and all the 45 plus 50-year-old really don't know how to handle. So all the workload is on us. When I come to the office and I leave the office, I'm in my seat always working one or the other file, submitting, finishing. They come and request me, so I need to do. When nobody does, we need to answer to the higher officials. So some or the other, we are taking the responsibility. See, it's like taking some other's burden is also stress. You're understanding, right? So when the pressure is greater than resource, that feeling also stress. For example, you go to the like any shop, when you buy something which is like 1,000 rupees and suddenly you don't have that much of money in your purse, only 500. That small feeling of inconvenience, that is also stress. When you have this financial inconvenience for long term, That leads to the stress related disorder. They pick up hypertension because they'll be always alert. I don't have money. I need to balance it. I need to manage it. I need to, spread for all the demands of my life. So always alert mode will be there. There they pick up all the hypertensive type of disorders. So is stress bad, my dear participants? Really, this much we spoke about stress. Ma'am, so much you spoke. Now let me just get a small answer whether stress is bad or good.
Bad.
Bad. Very good. Why it is bad?
Due to stress, we cannot concentrate on our work.
Yes, correct. That is one of the things. Now I'll explain to you.
Ma'am, it depends upon the circumstances.
Yes,
It may be
depends on
good. It may be good or it may be bad.
It may be good or it may be bad. Let us see. We need to, so for example, your students, you see your students. Before the exam, they'll be like high alert. They'll be sitting, studying, very concentration and all. That same concentration will not be there few days before, even after the exam. That concentration fluctuates. Okay, but before exam day, they engulf so much. Of course, they vomit that in the paper. That is a different thing. But high alert phase they will be. That is called good stress. That minimum amount of stress, if it is not there, they will not study. That is what you see in some students. Even there is an exam, even there is a deadline, they will not submit. They will not even have that minimum amount of good stress. That good stress is called eustress, and which is so much that I told in the previous slides, all the overload type of feeling, that is called bad stress. So which stress we need to have is good stress. We are only speaking here about the bad stress so much, but there is no need of speaking about good stress because it does good to us. See, before marriage, before joining in the new environment, before any small life challenge, before new job, you have that feeling of small feeling of, some fear type of feeling, some over focused, motivated, a little bit pushy feeling. That if it is not there, we will not have any motivation to join there. We will not even have motivation to open the book, right? For the minimum motivation, for minimum focus, for required amount of energy, this push feeling is needed, but this should not be continuing for lifelong. For example, before marriage, this type of feeling is good. But after marriage also, if you have the same feeling, when your mom-in-law, your husband, or some demands from your in-laws, families and all is continuing, then you feel that pressure feeling, right? Before marriage, it's good that everything should go on properly, everything should be in its place. That is okay. But if that continues, when there are a lot of question marks, and there's a lot of challenges in your post-marital life, that turns bad. So there is a difference between good stress and bad stress. When it's good stress in the peak level, we have peak performance. We will really achieve nicely. But when that demands are continuous, for example, you have inspection daily. Daily you have inspection. You will give up your hands. Enough. Whatever is there, we will show. Beyond that, I will not do anything. This is what the feeling you get. Let them do whatever they want. This is our inner voice we get, right? We don't have this much of patience or energy to have this alert mode daily. Before challenge, it's okay. Throughout the day, every day, throughout day by day, months together, if we have this alert mode, we get tired. So here we are going to know about two types of stress: eustress and distress. When we see the newspapers or news channels or anywhere stress, that type of word you're hearing, that is about the bad stress, not good stress. Good stress is needed for us. It promotes our motivational levels, our health. We have that type of motivation, minimum stress. I need to achieve this. I need to, know this much. I need to present this very nicely. That push feeling is needed for us to achieve something. When you have so much of push feeling, when you are doing so much besides your own jobs, then that is going to hurt your body in the long run. So when there is some like death of the spouse, here I have explained unexpected death of any spouse, unexpected health problems, but still we need to do the course. Their responsibility also we are taking over, then that overloading feeling will be there now. that stress is not good. That need to be managed. Eustress need not be managed. Eustress is always short-lived. When the challenge is over, it is over. When even after the challenge we are experiencing that overload, we are still taking so much of responsibility besides our ability, then that is going to hurt us. We are going to learn how to manage that particular stress. Okay, so how your body reacts to stress usually? Usually when you are under stress, what are the symptoms we experience? You're all working, right? You can very clearly tell me. What are the symptoms? Clearly, you can, one ma'am told just now, lack of concentration. Any other symptoms that you can tell to me?
Ma'am, irritation.
Irritation, very good. Very good. Working people will know this feeling
Headache,
very
ma'am.
nice. Headache, very good. Yes, everything is correct. Next. Anybody, anything else?
Forgetting things.
Yes,
Ma'am.
forgetfulness. Very good. Wow, you are relating nicely. So whenever there is a challenge in our life, okay, we either fight with the challenge, fly from the challenge, or just pause. Right? Experience this whenever there is a quarrel in your neighbor's house or in your house. Either you quarrel with them, or you just go out of the room, or you stand there and you listen. These three things we do. Besides that, we don't do anything. That time, our alert mode is maintained because of one hormone that is called cortisol, that is called stress hormone. When this stress hormone is continuously produced throughout the day because our life demands are demanding us to be alert always, that hormone will not sit properly in the body. It will go and it will tell all the body parts work more. That's why when there is any argument going on, when there is something demanding thing, some inspection, something, principal is coming suddenly, see our heart pounds. We perspire more, we sweat more, we take a lot of breathe, even we get that feeling of urination, some bowel movements will be there in our stomach area. These are all, what is happening exactly is whenever there is a demand, our brain secretes a hormone. That hormone will help us to be in a alert mode, to not do any mistake. We'll be alert, right? If this hormone is continuously produced because we have lot of demands daily. See, for example, you are coming from, you dropped your baby in the crutch and you came home, or you dropped your child in the school and you came to the office. By the time it is like 4 o'clock, you will have the secondary feeling, right? I need to pick up my child. If it is late, you feel lot of tensed. That feelings, if you are having regularly, daily, for lot of things, then you get fatigue because body doesn't sit alone. It whenever there is alert mode challenge in your life, lot of energy and nutrients are required for the body, for every part to work efficiently. Because when we are doing so many works, what is needed? Energy and nutrients. But when you're not giving all those things properly and we are meeting all the responsibilities, that's how breakdown happens. That's how people fall sick. Okay, so when there is a stress hormone, nothing, all the body parts will be alert. That's why before exam you have lot of heartbeat, lot of feeling. Whenever you listen a bad news, you have these feelings, urination problem, you need to go to motion, you need to go to toilet, you have that breathlessness problem, you have that pounding heart, you feel that tiredness and all. These are all, whenever you have lot of demand, body reacts that way. See that, observe your body when how it is reacting to stress. Yeah, are you getting headache? Are you getting some pain in the stomach, some different difficulty in the body? That symptoms. Next slide, I'm going to show you. So how much we can tolerate stress? As you all know, in short term, it's okay. But when it is carrying out for a long time, we can't carry that stress. So how can we identify the stress? Let us see. Physical symptoms of the stress. What your body tells when you are under stress. Maybe you are not a doctor because you are not a psychologist, you are not a psychiatrist, you don't know if it is stress or not. But when you are having a frequent headache, when you are having sleeplessness, indigestion, you are eating but you're not getting digested, or you're getting frequently gastritis, gas in your stomach, right? When you're having muscle pains, frequently getting tired, stomach upsets and vomitings and nausea, frequent sickness to the body, then you are suffering with stress. Very clearly, if your body is very frequently suffering with one or the other illness, one or the other pain, one or the other problem, then you have stress, means more responsibilities as a single person. Then, as somebody told, symptoms of stress emotionally, how we face. We have moodiness, we have lack of interest, we feel demotivated, forgetfulness, somebody told. So many responsibilities at the same time, we forget one or the other thing. Very commonly. We get irritation, we shout on the people, we shout on the colleagues, or we shout on the students, we shout on our children, wife, husband. Restlessness, we don't feel relaxed at all. We feel decreased focus. Concentration will be very less. You can observe that. Burnout, enough, feeling of enough. Enough is enough. I can't tackle this more than. Then the other symptoms, anger outbursts. You frequently, if you're getting anger, you are tackling something more than your ability. Frequently, you are getting irritation, you are tackling something beyond your ability. You're not having support system properly. Maybe there are no helping hands, or you are taking so many responsibilities. Eating disorders, eating very less or very more. Some addictions, alcohol, smoking, or shopping, or Netflix, social media, anything. Feeling lonely, or you are postponing severely. Basically, we don't postpone, but still we are postponing. Besides the importance of the topic or that work, then you have that stress. Okay. So let's see where the stress is coming from. Naturally, where the stress comes from? Outside, from our environment. If you are like in the college, you get all the works from your supervisor, superiors, or your HODs or your principal. Major life changes like new job, new marital life, new baby, okay? Conflicts between your friends, family members, siblings, children, wife, husband, colleagues. That are all sources of stress. Internal sources means from us. From external factors, we have stress that we can control. From internal, then we need to work on it. Inability to say no. Some people have this habit of saying yes for everything and everybody. Every responsibility they'll take over, whether theirs or not. They'll be like, yes, I will do it. Maybe due to the inability to say no, or they may feel that some type of feeling that, okay, they'll feel bad if I don't take out, if I don't say yes. Okay, need to be liked and appreciated by the others. Some people will be like, I will do all these things on my own. Some things we need to take really help of others. We can't do everything all alone, right? So this need to be liked and appreciated also one of the factor which raises our stress levels. Negative thinking, unrealistic expectations, and our personality traits of perfectionism, tidiness, neatness, these are all things add on to our stress. Then physical symptoms like poor sleep, you're not sleeping properly because of so much of responsibilities, or you're having some health issues, you're not taking diet properly. These are all causes, increases your stress levels day by day, day by day. So as a teacher, we have so much of big list. Besides this is so much big list, but still we can't find it to here. Accountability for the parents and students, for your, HODs or your supervisors. Okay, extracurricular activities you need to give. You need to give some time for the students in the class and outside the class. Some difficult students will be there for you to tackle. Some difficult classes, embedding the new things like recently this Python, everything you need to embed. You need to extend your departments, or you need to extend your class hours. These are all the challenges that you face as a teacher. Job uncertainty during the COVID, this is one of the major stressor. Maybe now it got settled slowly, but still this was a stressor for many, from some thousands of teachers. So many even left their jobs and started their own small own businesses and all. So these are all lesson plannings, accountability for the students, answering to the parents, answering to the principals, administrative support, all in one jobs. These are all occupational stressors that you get. So are you immune to stress? Let us check. Just check this table. A small table, whether you are immune to stress means now if you are facing stress, can you face this for few more years? If you are checking these points and relating to yourself, when I explain how you have to relate, you just check cross check once more and see whether we are vulnerable or not. See, let us start. I eat at least one hot balanced meal a day. Every day, either it is a breakfast or lunch or dinner, I eat one hot meal. One at least. Usually, as a working class, we eat at least breakfast hot, right? So we can rule out this point. But you personally answer this question. I eat at least one hot balanced meal a day. Yes or no? You need to just tick yes or no. You can open your phones and just write how many yeses. First one, yes or no. Second, I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep at least 4 nights a week. When you sleep at 10 o'clock, you are sleeping till 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe there is some breaks like natural calls, everything. But still you are having a sound sleep at least 4 nights a week. 7 days of a week, at least 4 to 5 days you are sleeping soundly. Yes or no? I give and receive affection regularly. Whether I am giving and receiving affection, love and affection with my colleagues or family members regularly, whether I'm exchanging or not. Yes or no? I exercise to the point of perspiration at least twice a week. Either it is a workout or household job or whatever it is, you are working very actively so that you are sweating. That much of work are you doing or not? My weight is appropriate to my height. Am I appropriately maintaining my body weight? I regularly attend social activities. Whether you are like isolated, this is called extroverts and introverts, right? Whether you are introvert, you are not attending anything, you are just having your own small cocoon, you are sitting in that, not mingling with anybody. Yes or no? I am in good health. General feeling, whether you are getting feeling that I am maintaining my health properly, or I am in a good health, or I am feeling sick. Eighth, I am able to share my feelings openly to my near and dear. Are you able to share your feelings to your wife or husband or parents or friends or colleagues, anybody? To somebody, are you sharing or not? Or just keeping everything with yourself? Am I able to organize my time efficiently? Are you suffering with any time management problem? You're juggling your day, you're running, last minute birds, you just need to check yes or no. Here in the eighth, if am I able to share my feelings openly to my near and dear? Somebody asked like, how can we share our feelings? No, not to everybody. To some people, some things. If you are feeling something very bad inside your heart, in your mind, whether you are sharing to somebody, are there some persons for you to hear your agony or your pain or your whatever it is? Are there some people around you? One or two at least. 10. I take quiet time for myself during the day. Whatever the day is, by the end of the day or the mid of the day, I have small time for myself where I enjoy listening to music or doing something which I like, which I enjoy. Am I having that time in my day? If there are less than, okay, if your no's are more than 5, no's are more than 5. If you have no's no, more than 5 points, then you should be very careful with your stress. You will be collapsing or you'll be having some health related problem in coming days. You try that all these marks are yes. Yes. I'm eating at least one hot balanced meal a day. Yes. I'm able to sleep 7 to 8 hours at least 4 nights a week. Yes. Okay, I am giving affection and taking affection regularly. Yes. See that this table is yes in many aspects. These are all big challenges. These are all big challenges. These 10 questions are very simple. We need to do all these things. If we are not doing something in this regularly, then you need to embed in your lifestyle. So that even though you have stress, you will be living healthy. That's what I told. We can't evade stress. We are working and we are managing home. We don't have the choice of, free, stress-free life and all. Don't imagine that. But balancing both and being happy and healthy. These two things only we are going to target. Being happy and healthy. So these things will avoid so much of stress. And when you are exchanging your things, sharing, you have affection coming and going, naturally happiness will be there. Can we avoid stress? Naturally, we can't avoid stress. That's what I was telling, right? So we need to manage. Now, from this point, I will be explaining to you how to manage the stress. in 2 modules. One is lifestyle management and other is managing self. Lifestyle management is something you have to do something from morning to evening. You wake up, right? What you have to do that time. Managing self is your attitudes, your personality, your thinking styles, your emotional patterns. That is managing self. So let us crawl slowly to the lifestyle. If you are feeling very heavy recently, body is like feeling heavy, muscle aches, eye pains, indigestion, you are getting angry and irritation as we discussed previously. If you're having these all things, then you need to check your lifestyle because we are almost locked before the gadgets. Severely locked. I'm not at all regretting to say this because I myself got locked for a few months. But we managed because we know all these things. That's why we used to manage at least. But at one point of time, I gave up a few things from responsibilities. I can't do this. I just convey to everybody, no, this is not my, I can't do beyond this. Maybe people will feel like, no problem, let them feel whatever they feel. But we know how much we can bear, right? How much we can carry. That analysis we need to have because our body is allowing, our time is allowing. Don't carry too much of responsibilities. You may carry for short time, but not for the long time. So as you know, body and mind are complementary to each other. When body is sick, mind will be feeling so, you feel so sad. When you feel so sad, your body will not cooperate with you. When you feel so anxious, your body responds, heartbeat will pound. So body and mind are interrelated, as we all know that. So these 4 chemicals we need to have. All the participants just observe this slide. More than enough if you do all these things, you can combat with the stress hormone very nicely. People don't do all these 4 hormone recharges every day when there is always a stress hormone releasing. When there is a deficiency of these 4 hormones, then only you have stress related disorders like tension, diabetes, hypertension, diabetes, all the cancers or whatever illnesses that you are facing day to day. Maybe your fatigueness or your weakness, etc. So dopamine is a hormone which is released when you do a job which you like very much. Whenever you are teaching, if you like teaching very much, you feel very happy. This hormone will be releasing very nicely. Enough amount of hormone will be releasing. When you are working out, when you walk for half an hour, you get a hormone which is called endorphin, which is a natural painkiller. Means if you have any pains in the body, naturally they will subside. And oxytocin is a love hormone. When you speak to somebody, that's what the previous slide explained, right? When you give and take affection regularly, this hormone will be released. That's why you need to have a very good bondage with your family members and colleague. So a sweet smile from your colleague, a good smile, and some wish from your family members will release this hormone. When you give this, they in their brain this hormone get released. So see that you smile at people, you minimally speak to people in a very loving manner and compassionate manner, so that for you it will be produced even for them. This hormone you can I can explain to you. When you see babies, you naturally you feel that pleasant feeling. Why? Because when you see them they smile at you, or when you see that you feel that feeling of relaxation. That relaxation feeling is by this hormone oxytocin. Okay, then serotonin. When you eat good food like balanced diet, fruits, veggies, greens, good food, this hormone is released. These 4 hormones, if they are not released properly, that bad stress hormone is not bad as such. It is helping us to be in an alert mode always. Okay, it is helping us actually. But when you are alert so much, you need to have these 4 hormones to balance that over alertness. Even some damage because your body is excited, it need to be relaxed with all these 4 hormones. See that this slide, you can take a screenshot very nicely. You can embed all these 4 hormone recharging techniques. Okay, you do your favorite. I still watch Tom and Jerry. Still I watch. Being this much age, I still watch because I love watching that. I still do some activities which I like any corner of the day, any corner of the day, so that I feel good here. Okay, whenever we encounter, we smile. There is no need of conflict always, right? We have to see that all these 4 hormones are recharged always. Then exercise regularly. at least 30 minutes a day. A mild walk is also enough. There is no need of treadmills, all this weightlifting, gyms, etc., etc. Don't plan so much. Being working class, we don't have that much of. We can't, as a drama night, we can't do that all big things. At least small walk in your terrace or in your veranda, that will be more than enough. Do your household chores on yourself, that is more than enough. Help your wife, that will be more than enough. Help your children in getting ready. So many things you can do so that your active body is very active and it releases dopamine. Eye exercise, because we are all online nowadays. Only our eyes are focused in a small gadget or a 14 inches or 12 inches screen, which we are not able to move our eyeballs. When I'm now speaking, I didn't move my eyeballs much, only few centimeters, that side and this side. That will constrict our eye muscles and it gives headache and eye pain. So start doing these eye exercises. Being lecturers, you do and you guide your children also. Okay, so your eye muscles will be very active and it will be helping you to carry on your online things or offline things, because we are working with our laptop and we work with our mobiles at the same time. We need to answer in the chat boxes and we need to do our PPTs or presentations or PDFs, whatever it is in the laptops. So both things we need to work, and the main source is eye. To protect these eyes and make them long life, fatigueless, stronger, efficient in their performance, you need to do this exercise every day, early morning as you wake up. Sit in a chair, do all the eye movements that I shared in this previous slide. This is available in the internet, Google. All the Google Tally will give everything. Okay. So when you press the eye exercises, this will come. Don't worry about that. You just Google it and start doing those. Sit in a chair and do all the eye movements 5 minutes every day. That will give you a lot of difference in your eyesight. Even the fatigue levels, that eye burns or water, tears from your eyes, everything will slowly vanish. Okay, if you are having a lot of eye problem because of this online exposure, you need to consult an ophthalmologist and take some eye drops and do these exercises. Slowly, things will subside. Choose a healthy diet. Whether you are eating curd, leafy vegetables and fruits regularly. We are skipping this without unknowingly or knowingly. We don't eat fruits, we don't eat leafy veggies. Sometimes we skip curd also. But these three things will be giving good bacteria to your stomach. Okay, good bacteria is needed for our stomach to digest things properly. When we lack the good bacteria, then we pick up gas problem. If you have that burning sensation in your stomach or in your, the food passage, esophagus area, from your neck to the stomach area, when you have the burning sensation regularly, start taking curd, leafy veggies and fruits regularly so that your good bacteria will rise in the stomach and it will not allow the gas to accumulate in your stomach area. So you have this, if you have burning sensation here, if you are experiencing, see that you are taking the fruits, vegetables regularly, because good bacteria will be living in the stomach always with us. They will be eating the food that we give, like leafy vegetables and fruits, and they will be multiplying. They will be multiplying and releasing a chemical which helps us to digest our food. When there is no good bacteria, the food will not get digested and gas will be produced from the undigested food and we will suffer from that. Bloating, heaviness in the stomach. If you eat even this much, you feel a lot of, so much I ate. Okay. So for you to maintain your digestive system very properly, you see that you take a leafies, dry fruits, veggies regularly. See, I have written here probiotics and prebiotics. Probiotics live on prebiotics. If you are not taking fruits and all, these bacteria will not live in the stomach. Their count will be very less. So many doctors are prescribing probiotics nowadays because you can't raise the probiotics suddenly one day. So they're giving the pills. They're eating the pills. I mean, they're eating the bacteria in a subtle form. When they enter the stomach and gut area, they live properly. So this is probiotics. This is what we eat. They eat these and they live. They multiply and they make us, our digestive system, our food that we eat, they help us in digestion. Okay. So see that you are eating, don't neglect. Even your children you have to guide. Sun bath is a very important thing which we always neglect. 20 minutes per day between 9 to 11 a.m. If you have elderly people at home or children, or yourself, guide them to stand under the sun between 9 to 11 a.m. so that your energy levels will increase. Your D3 will increase, your muscles calcium productions will increase. You will not get that much of fatigue even for the small work that you do. When you are getting fatigue regularly, there is a deficiency of D3. Okay? Then water therapy. You need to drink water regularly, 3 liters of water average for everybody. Any person can take like 2 to 3 liters of water per day. That is not a big deal, but we are not drinking. When you install a water app and you observe, you will be having this surprise feeling, what? Even I'm not drinking 3 bottles per day. Many will have this surprise experience. See, you install a water app and you see how many liters of water you are drinking. We will be only stopping at 2 liters or somewhere around. I myself experienced in the lockdown. I'm not drinking that much. Then I started, working along with the app and I increased my doses. Then bath therapy and aromatherapy. Why spas are very famous? Why spas? Everywhere spa in metros and all. Lot of spas will be there in metros because when we have lot of work, so much of busy schedules, we need to relax somewhere, right? So in the spa, they give all the aroma therapies, all the, scents, everything they add, lavender, rose, everything, and we relax ourselves for 1 hour there or somehow, whatever the time schedule. Our body and mind are relaxed completely. Even bath we are not doing properly nowadays. We are just rushing into the bathroom, 4 or 5 showers, over, come out because we are need to rush to the college. Bath regularly, old type of bath. You remember oil massage, then body powder you apply, come out of the bathroom after 1 hour. That will be very good weekly ones. See that you apply your old techniques which you followed in your childhood, or you can ask your parents who are elderly. They'll tell you how to do a bath. Regularly, warm water bath, nicely massaging your body and doing will help you to pick up all your muscle strengths. These are all body care we need to take for that because we are always in the alert mode and a lot of energy is consuming our body. When your body is strong enough to face that stress levels, you will not feel that much of fatigue by the end of the day. Sleep hygiene, 10 to 5 sleep is must. In any era you go, even after 20 years also, this phenomena will not change because our body clock is set to that time. Our body clock is like from evening 10 o'clock to morning 5, it is a sleep time. That's it. We get a hormone called sleep hormone. After 6 o'clock every day it gets produced in our body. We need to sleep after 9 o'clock because sleep hormone tells us to sleep. We need to sleep. If you are not sleeping, you are not listening to your hormone, and body will stop listening to the hormone, and you can't set that hormone again. It will take some time for you. See that you are not sleeping late nights after 10, 11, 12. At least you, being a teacher, you follow and guide your children. See that you sleep around 10 to 11 and wake up around 5:30. You will have good amount of energy levels and all the body and mind repairs will happen in the sleep. Sleep is only for the repair, relaxation and repair. If you are taking your sleep very lightly, then pending files laga full of only you have the pending in your repair. No repair will happen. Very less repair. That pending will be there, and you will collapse slowly. Be with the nature. See that you spend some time with your plants in your home, or just go for a walk in the park. Just go for a walk where there are trees and or you'll feel very relaxed. See, when you are so much tired, lot of responsibilities, we need to relax. When we don't relax, then only we suffer. Stress is not bad. It is there with us. We need to manage, right? It is good or bad, we are going to manage it by this all small techniques. Eat properly, drink good water, amount of water, be with nature. Okay? Indoor plants, so you don't have, we are even an apartment, madam, so we can't have this, afford all these plants, and also have some indoor plants in your table. Some indoor plants on your table. When you see that life feeling, na, you feel very happy. You feel very relaxed. You observe this. You just buy a succulent or you buy a small plant and keep on your working place. Daily you have that connection to that. Emotional connection will happen. You feel that life, that relaxation feeling will help you to evade stress slowly. Manage your stress. Relaxation by the end of the day, this you don't forget after you go to the college. After college, go home. You just don't do anything. Fresh up, change your dress, sit, close your eyes and just breathe. This you need to do as working people every day, even it is a male or female. Its body is a body. Male body, female body, there is no that much of partiality for the body. Body requires relaxation. Okay, females require more because they do so many other things also. Go home, fresh up, wash your hands and legs because COVID it became a regime nowadays, washing legs and hands, everything. Sit in a chair or buy a chair which you really feel good. Sit in that chair, just close your eyes and relax for 15 minutes every day. When it is alert mode is there every day, if you are relaxing for 15 minutes per day, you can combat with any amount of stress. Stop for a moment, close your eyes and breathe. Relaxation teaches us how to concentrate on physical sensations of different parts of our body. Focus on your body, how relaxed it is, how calm, how peaceful. Good hormones will produce, that 4 hormones will be produced. Laughter is the best medicine. Keep smiling. No need to laugh, ha ha ha, big laugh yoga, that all secondary. At least smile whenever you see colleagues, when you see the children or the students in your college. Keep smile, a small smile. Wear a smile on your face. Okay, what hormone will release? Oxytocin will release. It is enough. It will combat cortisol very nicely. Then social relationships. You need to maintain social relationships because we are social animals. We can't escape that. You need to maintain digital detox. Keep your phone at least for half an hour out of your purview. You leave the phone in the kitchen or in your bedroom. You sit relaxedly for half an hour. Digital detox is necessary for you. As a working class, you need to be silent for some time. No cell phone, no social media, no WhatsApp, nothing. For some time, you need to be relaxed. Then managing self. We have lifestyle issue over. Drinking, sleeping, relationships, everything is okay. Now come to our personal stressors. How to identify? See, in this table you can identify from where you are getting stress exactly. You have any financial issues, you have any marital issues, you have any issues in the college with the students, friendship issues, any career related issues, legal issues, any type of health issues in the family. You need to check where you are getting stress from. What is your stress? Source of stress. You're having any financial problem? That will be a source of stress always. You will always have that preoccupation in your mind. We can't avoid that stress, but we can manage with the healthy outlook of the life and lifestyle. So financial issues take some time to manage, even marital issues also. But when you eat properly, sleep properly, and you are okay, you can combat with that ill feeling, stress feeling, sad feeling, whatever feeling, you can manage for some time. Observe how you react to your stress, how you are thinking, what is the thought that you are getting, how many thoughts, negative thoughts you are getting. Don't believe all the thoughts, don't believe all the assumptions that you are getting. We are people who live in assumptions. We don't know the fact what is happening. We just assume maybe they are thinking like that, maybe they are doing like that, maybe we assume so much and we judge people continuously. They are like that, they are like this. That will not make us, or we don't feel calm because of that. So remember, thoughts are not always facts. You need to check the fact. Don't just go with your thoughts always. When it is helping you, when it is motivating you, you rely on your thoughts. Otherwise you just discard the thoughts. Ignore your negative thoughts. They're not going to help you at all because they don't sit quietly. They just trigger your emotion. So whenever you are feeling, if my life is like this, what happens to my life, you feel sad. Life will be life. We'll be sorting out slowly. That is a fact. If you think now about the future life, nothing is going to. You just plan it for future and work in the present. That will be more than helping you. Don't judge anybody. Don't judge yourself based on any situation. Then when coming to the perspective shifting, when you see this pic, you can understand very clearly. Everybody is right from their own side. We need to go that side, understand, and let them know that, okay, this is the thing I want to convey you. You just take your time and you just make up yourself. When you want to convey to others something, you don't need to tell them very frankly or very harshly. You can just tell, this is my point of view, what I am thinking about the situation. Now, according to whatever possibilities you can try, or we can try. Everybody's angle is same from their own side. When you go to the other side only, you know the exact feeling the other person is feeling. So try to feel the other person's feelings. Convey your inconveniences. Still they are not listening, convey. You can't excite yourself, you can't shout, or you can't have conflicts in your home. Convey. Search for other solutions. Speak with people. Get guidance. That will solve many problems. So notice your feelings whenever you're feeling so sad, so anxious, so irritation. The feelings will pass away. We are not going to carry the feelings. They'll pass away like clouds. But when they are so much taunting you or they're haunting you, relax with deep breaths. When you're feeling so much of angry or sad or whatever the negative feelings, only technique that works, we guide in our clinics, is deep breaths. Any amount of feeling, any intensity of anger, any intensity of sad, any intensity of irritation, you just sit, take few deep breaths, that will come down. When the feelings are down, your behavior also will be positive. When you are so angry, you can't behave positively. You can't very decently speak. When you are angry, you speak like that only. When you are irritated, you just shout. Is it? So when you are so much experiencing overwhelmed emotions, high intensity emotions, you need to first relax yourself, then explain to the other people. Because we are not emotions, we have emotions. So we need not be recognized. She is angry, he is irritated person, he is a sad person. No need. Just relax yourself, search the solution for the problem. Choose your behaviors, create space between impulse and actions. Don't just do whatever you want immediately. Just pause and decide. Don't react, only respond. So when you are angry, there is no need to shout. You can explain that I am inconvenient in this manner. Can we work out on this? When there is a lot of inconvenience, you have to understand it, that problem will take some time. You need to give time for yourself, for other person, or time for the time. We can't expect immediate changes in our life, immediate changes in the people. When you're explaining I have this much of inconvenience, people will change if they are changing immediately within few days. When there is no change means that person will really need some guidance from the professional like us, or maybe you need to change the style that you are telling, something you need to work on that. You can't just expect people to change as you want. So organized life, to-do list, your sticky notes, e-calendars, alarms, everything will help you. The best way to combat with the stress, being working class, is to be very organized. You have to be having a time schedule, plan for it, prepare for it, and be ready. Then there is no need of tension hormone there. You're ready. There is no need of so much of alertness. When you're ready with all the things, whenever anybody is asking, you can just submit that. But when you are not doing it prior, in the last moment you need to work, it creates pressure in your brain naturally. So plan ahead, prioritize the task. You need to prioritize which need to be done first. It's not according to our wish. It need to be done according to the priority. Learn to say no. Please learn to say no when there is so much of overwhelming responsibility. You just say that no in a very polite way. You need not say no. You can say that maybe I have this, so can we postpone this? See, when in the lockdown, I used to tackle so much of online cases and all, because all are there in the family. They used to demand so many of, you know, that recipes and all. Then I used to say, this I can do tomorrow. Maybe today I can do this. Can I? I said no, but I said tomorrow can I? No is another way. When we say this, the other person will slowly will adapt. Please mute your mic. Hello. Some participant, please mute your mic. My goodness. Okay, learn to say no in a polite way. You can just say, can we do it tomorrow? I'm already engaged in this. Can I really have some time in doing this? Or shall I stop this and do that? Saying no need not be directly no. You can just twist that and you can ask. And multitasking takes support. If you're a housewife, take support from your family members. If you're not getting support, employee, maid, extra maid, you have to take some support. don't hesitate in taking support. You just explain, you get the support. If you are not getting enough support, then take other artificial helping hand like your maids and all, but don't suffer alone. Check your style of working. Are you procrastinating or are you too much perfectionist? Perfectionism always demands high alert. You should be always alert. Perfect person always want everything to be perfect, right? Means he's alert so much or she is alert so much. That will also, that's why type A personalities are prone to heart diseases very frequently than other person, because they are always like everything should be perfect, everything should be right. Yes, that is correct. To some extent it is needed, but not everything will be perfect all the time. So at work, perfectionism attitude will give little bit of good result, but in the life, personal life, it will invite conflicts with your partners. Too much perfectionism need not be practiced. Only to achievement related things you can practice perfectionism. Remaining things you need to manage. You need to explain, or you need to little bit compromise. When it is like so much disorganization is there in house, you need to really explain to the person, wait for some time, give them some time, guide them. Some things happen slowly. That's what again I'm telling, when there is something differently happening in your home or in the college, there is something, some issue in the personality in the opposite person, means that will not correct, that will not be corrected that easily. So you need to really take the guidance of the person to the psychologist or somebody, or you need to give them some time after explaining your inconvenience. When you shout or when you criticize, you will never get the change. Okay. So expectations can be there, but see that you are not too much expecting. People are different in their abilities and competencies. You need to really understand and aptly expect from the other person. Check your relationship style, how you are communicating, how your voice, your modulation, your pitch. You avoid hot topic button topics. It's like, if you are speaking about in-laws, if you are speaking some about political issues, those are all hot button topics. Avoid those all things. Don't solve like that. Don't just communicate in a half-assed manner. Always conveniently sit in a place, explain your inconveniences, give some time to people, everything will fall in their own places. People fail in this because they just want immediate changes. Immediate changes will never happen when there is something big difference in their personality and some big difference in their lives. So never invite hot button topics. Never play a teacher role at home. No dominance will work anywhere. Nowadays, this trend, this generation, you can't dominate anybody. Check whether you're a receiver or giver of stress. Sometimes we receive stress, sometimes we give stress. We expect, we are perfectionists, we are like that. We give stress to other people. See what you are exactly, whether you are taking or giving. Both are not good. Share your feelings, attach to somebody. Don't tell that nobody is there for me in this world. There will be some person, trust that people, either your parents or friends or anybody. When you are like nodding your head for everything, at least develop assertive that I can do this, I can't do this. Develop the technique, share your feelings with your colleagues or your friends or your family members, so that your stress levels will go down slowly. Your behavior, role, age, and situation appropriate. When you behave appropriately as a housewife, as a colleague, as a friend, you have your roles that you play. You meet all those roles, behave appropriately, there will be no conflicts in your home or in your work area. Don't take anything light. Don't take anything too serious. Your job, you're doing time appropriately. Then everything will be fine. See that you are behaving according to your role, age, and situation. Your personal factors, your things will never work. See that you are not evading any of your responsibilities, on time, organized, less stress. So get updated in skills, because your field is always demanding. You need to guide your children continuously, students, because market demands. When the market is demanding something, as a teacher, as a educational institute, we need to give that inputs to the students, right? So give your best. Remember, you can't impress everybody. Whatever you learn, you try to embed to your students. Give your best to the people. Don't try to impress so many people at the same time. Work properly, organized, planned, update your skills, eat properly, sleep properly. See that everything is like you are all mature, right? Whether we are doing appropriately or not, we only know. Whether we are skipping something, whether we are, over partying something, we only know that. See that you all are working appropriately, doing your chores, responsibilities, not evading anything, not carrying too much.
Temperature of the earth caused it happens by caused by
Okay. Have some me time, as I told you, by the end of the day, after you go home, have your personal time for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or half an hour. It depends on what some people spend time with plants, some people spend time with pets, some people will listen to music, some people will do some cooking. Your me time, what you like, you do it every day for 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes. What you like the most. Some are very like when you're young, you know how to play the instruments, maybe some violin, etc. Because you're working, you might have not have time to do that. Take that out and do that. When you like to draw, draw. When you like to paint, paint. When you like to listen music, listen to music. By the end of the day, after your working hours, do some of your personal me time. It will help you to manage your stress. Stress is inevitable and part of our life. So all these coping strategies, lifestyle and your self management, you embed in your life so that there will be phenomenal change. With the diet itself, you will have lot of change in energy levels. When you have elevated energy level, you can tackle responsibilities properly, right? Your sleep is not problem, it's not a proper sleep. You can't concentrate on your work. See that your sleeps, diet, water intakes, your all the regimes are properly going. All your personal factors you are going to remember. You're going to apply that in your real life and slowly evade from the stress and manage it properly so that you maintain your physical and psychological health healthily. Just as your car runs more smoothly and requires less energy to run when the wheels are perfectly aligned, as well as if your thought, actions, emotions, goals, and values are in balance, you can face n number of stressors. Physical health and psychological health are very crucial. With all these techniques that I have explained to you, try to embed all those things in your life because many clients are getting benefited. We know how much benefit those all things bring. Small things, big change. This formula, no? Small things, big change. Stress less and plan more. Teach heartfully. Love what you do. Inspire others. As a teacher, we have this great responsibility on our shoulders. So let us enjoy our profession. Let us enjoy our life at the same time. Live happily and healthily. So stay safe and stay happy. We don't know how many days this COVID, again, they're telling that COVID will be like, new strains are coming, cases are increasing. We don't know. We don't know what is happening in the coming future, but still we are ready to face it. We are ready to face a number of challenges in the coming future. Stress will be there and management also will be there. Where there is a problem, there is a solution, as you all know. So all the best, all the participants. Hope you got a little bit of a small insights over how to manage your day, how to relate some things in your life, how to make a little bit of changes, how to help your colleagues or your family members with these techniques that I have explained. Thank you for me, giving this opportunity. Any questions you can ask.
Participants, any questions you can post to the madam. Okay, madam.
Yes.
There is nothing more, so we can end up the session.
Yes. Thank you all. Nice
Thank you.
meeting you all in this very pleasant afternoon. And all the best. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.